That time, people, it's time for what in the world? What kind of foolishness? Our crazy, wacky relationship advice column that we do every week live here on the air. First, let me start by saying, yesterday we had a major fail. I still don't know what happened because the lady and I, we were talking away, honey. We did the interview, and then come to find out you guys didn't even see it. It didn't get recorded. I don't know what happened. I have a sneaking suspicion, but I can't prove it because YouTube has changed this. Anyway, it's a long story, but what I did was I rescheduled her. She was gracious enough to agree to come back because the information that she was sharing about boundaries and having a spine and being able to say no and all those kind of things was very, very important. And I want to make sure that that message reaches the ears of the listeners, especially you young ones that are struggling with setting boundaries and maintaining them. So I invited her back, so she will be here on Friday. That was going to be just a recorded show, but I have to get her in here because otherwise, we'll lose that valuable information. And I wanted to be part of this month's program because it ties in so well. Yes, I have on the whiskey foxtrot tango shirt, the WTF shirt. Um, You'll be able to hear it, Ash. Unfortunately, it's on Friday. I know people sometimes, looking ahead, you probably make plans because you say, oh, it's a recorded show. I can just watch that later. It's not the same as a live where you get to, ask questions and interact with the guest. So I don't know, but that's it because the next day I wrap up and I have to do that show. I can't have a guest on that night. So we're coming to the end of Debruary. It's been an unbelievable ride. Not to say I won't be happy when it's over. I love y'all, but a sister, this just takes a lot out of me. So, yeah, but I think all in all, it was very good. And, the program was good. The guests were great. I think we did a lot of good work this month, and everything will still be there. So you can go back and refer to it later if you get a little rusty or you find yourself in a spot where you're not sure what to do. All right. So let's get started with our advice questions for tonight. And there are, yay, there's only 20, which, somebody reminded me how I used to complain when there was 10. I had to laugh because I was like, oh, those were the good old days. I didn't even know. Yes, it's the end of February, but don't worry, Sue. It'll be coming back. Long as I'm here and I can do it. I might have to get some help next time, though, because this was a lot. Every year I'm getting older, y'all, so my sister needs some help. All right, let's get started here. The first question is from a male. He's in the 56 to 65 age group, and he's out of San Jose. That's here in California, Silicon Valley area. For those of you unfamiliar, our adult son and his wife won't speak to us now. For 2 years, they won't speak to anyone on his side of the family. They claim we have started a war with them. Our son has a daughter from a previous marriage, and he and mostly his wife claim we favor her over their two sons, which is ridiculous, and we are very offended they would accuse us of this. Angry words and accusations were thrown back and forth. Our granddaughter rebelled at 14 from living with them. They sent her to a group home for 6 months where she got in more trouble. She chose to come and live with us, and we found out stepmother was hitting her and calling her names. See, now they won't talk to her either or let her talk to her brothers. I have apologized for our part in this, but they won't answer emails or texts. Last summer, my wife and I and our granddaughter went to a grandson's ball game, and our son told us we weren't welcome and called police, who of course did nothing. We don't know what to do and are very depressed about the whole fiasco and wonder if we'll ever see our grandsons. The youngest one is 4 and doesn't even know us. It's just really sad, and I'm looking for advice. Sir, I'm going to, as usual, tell you something you probably don't want to hear. But the only way for you to get control of your emotions and control of this situation and to do what's best for the granddaughter who you helped escape that situation is for you to detach completely from your crazy whack son and his crazy just whatever. I don't even know what kind of many names they call that woman that he married wife. It's nice that they have kids, but you know what? Those are their kids. They don't have nothing to do with you. And I know a lot of grandparents feel, well, this is my blood and this and that and blah blah blah. That's true, but you know what? The person who can interfere with that relationship completely is your child. Your child is choosing to act a fool. So what you need to do is just cut him off. Put his number on block so he can't call you. Okay? Make sure you have full legal custody of your granddaughter. I'm going to tell you that now. So if you have any issues that are outstanding where he could just roll up there and tell her to get in the car and to continue to torture that little girl, you need to go see an attorney, show her that whole history of how they just abandoned her to a group home, though they have a perfectly, safe place for her to be, and then use that as leverage for you guys to get full and sole custody and cut any ties with your son. That's what you need to do. I know that's going to be very hard, but I'm telling you what's going to be best for you, your wife's mental health, and for that little girl. You need to concentrate on her. You can't, you looking in the rearview mirror at what you would like to see from the past. It's not going to happen. And the fact that they know they can yank your chains, oh my God, they just over there just gleeful in their, animosity and controlling of your emotions with their, their little childish temper tantrum. Stop it. Stop it. I'm so serious right now. You just act like they don't exist. You don't give a shit. That's what the adoption, that's the attitude that you must adopt. And once you do that, it'll, they won't be getting a reaction from you that's feeding this nonsense. And they'll feel like lost because this is what's keeping them going, yanking your chain. When they can see that it's not having any effect anymore, it will be purposeless for them to continue to do that. You see what I mean? Then there won't be an audience for their antics. You are the one that controls this whole situation. You just don't realize it. As far as and this group home thing, um, I'm wondering, you care so much about your family and stuff. Why did you let her do that? She shouldn't have been in a group home for more than a day while you wrangled around to get her up out of there. Okay, maybe a couple of days. But there's no reason in this world why that girl had to stay there for 6 months. What was you doing? So if anything, if I was a little girl, I wouldn't be thinking that you favor me. I would think you favored the two grandsons because you going they forcing yourself in their games and all this stuff, and left me to rot in a group home for 6 months. See, I don't know about you, but I'm just telling you what you better do from this point forward. Okay, now you wrote to me. I'm telling you that's what you need to do. Hey, everybody. Is the video still doing that? Oh my God. I don't know. I'm going to talk to my internet service provider. I'm getting a good thing here. It's saying that no frames are dropping on my software, so I'm not seeing where there's any evidence of it, but that doesn't mean you're not seeing it on your end. My stream is fine. Everything's in the green, no drop frames. It's doing good for a change. So let's just hope that it continues doing that. That might be on your end then. All right, let's move on to question number 2. Yeah, because he's kind of a dusty. You don't leave that little girl there. Your wife is raggedy too. There's no way in this world I would have had my granddaughter living in a group home. I know what goes on in those places. That is no place for any little girl with any kind of innocence to be. All right, question number 2, female, 37 to 45, out of New York, New York. Hi, Deborah. I enjoy your wisdom and experience provided on your awesome show. Ooh, I like her already. I'd love to ask you for some advice. I'm 42 and I've been with a 46-year-old guy for almost 2 years. It's been an intense relationship, and I felt like I was in love like I've never been before. It also felt like he's into me. 6 weeks ago, he was at my crib upgrading my computer by hooking up his. After he was done and left, I went to check my Facebook page and noticed all his accounts, including his Facebook, were logged in. I'm not the type to snoop, but curiosity got the best of me, and I saw his conversation with an ex who he left in California before we got together in New York. He's been sexting with her, sending her gifts, and even planned to take her on a 4-day trip to a musical festival in California, which apparently didn't work out because he's struggling financially. He'd been living at his aunt's house since he moved to New York, trying to build his life here and seeing me at my crib. I enjoy his company because he's funny and the eggplant is good. I was shocked to see the conversation with his ex and ghosted him for 2 weeks after that. Then I confronted him via text and he tried to deny everything. He was pissed that I called him a sneaky liar and is very mad at me that I discovered his betrayal behind his back. It's been 4 weeks since I have contacted him. He has a bunch of his clothes at my house and hasn't contacted me about them. I think he's scared that I would grill him. I'm very upset because I'm not over him. Discovering him sexting with his ex that he hasn't been seen in 2 years shocked me because he did appear to be really into me. He introduced me to his family. He takes me out, and I could feel that he was getting attached. Apparently, the cuddle hormone, oxytocin, hasn't worn off yet, and I can't get over him. I can't help that I dream about him almost every night. I even feel like he's thinking about me. He said he so want to come over, but then went back into hiding. He seems too stubborn and proud to take accountability for his actions. We had a lot of fun and I still care for him, but it seems like he's still not completely over his ex, but missed me badly when I went on a 4 week trip to Europe last summer. He almost cried when he saw me again, but now he's hiding behind a rock. How should I handle this? Thank you. He feels guilty. Of course, he feels guilty because he's a stupid idiot and he's a dust bunny. But when men, I mean, and see, to me, when by him doing things the way that he did, where he logged into his accounts, which was unnecessary to upgrade your computer. Do you understand what I'm saying here? I know a lot about tech, computers, software, and updating and up Windows and all this stuff, networks and all that. That's not necessary to be on his social media to upgrade your computer. Now, he may have had some programs or something on his computer that he wanted to transfer over to yours or something. I'm not sure what he upgraded your computer with, but logging into Facebook is never a part of that, okay? So he did that with intent and purpose. He wanted you to see it. He wanted you to find out. He wanted you to know what was going on. So if you want to continue a relationship with this guy, I don't know why you would, but if you would want to, then the thing to do would be to tell him, send him a message, or email, whatever you want to do, and say, I realize that you're feeling guilty. I also understand that you logged onto these social medias because you were ready for me to know the truth about what you're doing and how you're feeling. I would like for us to have a conversation like two adults about this. This is your opportunity for us to clear the air. If this is not something you want to do, just let me know and then we'll be done for good. But this is your opportunity for us to talk this out and see what we're going to do, what the next steps are for both of us. But um, you hiding is not going to accomplish anything. And this is a conversation that you should have had with him before you ghosted him. So both of you are acting very childish. As soon as you saw that, you were supposed to be all over the phone saying, "Look here, what's all this stuff on my computer? Did I see open up so and you doing all this stuff with this chick? What's up with that?" You're supposed to find out information, before you just shut down like that. Because once you shut down, you cause a reaction in them to shut down. Because he don't. It's just that's not how you handle things. Go back and look at the video. The 21 things that grown ass women never do. This is one of those things that's on the list that you should never have done. This is not how you handle men. Okay, you didn't do this right. But and you're not going to get over him because you know that you didn't do this right. There's no, I hate to use that word because I don't really believe in it, but people who have all these emotions behind something seem to need it. That thing that y'all call closure, there isn't any here. You just like dumped dude and then went off on him. And then he's defensive and he's over there pouting in his cave because he don't know what to do or say. So both of y'all are being silly considering you in your 40s. So you take the bull by the horns or whatever the phrase is, and call him up and make that proposition and see what is to be said. But remember this. Um, what I always say, whatever a man that could be his first love because you don't really know how long they was together when he started liking this woman and all this old stuff. So see me, once a guy is doing that, going that far back in the past and offering to spend money on women and doing all this kind of stuff, see he's putting forth some major effort there. And I personally would be done with him. But that's just me. Okay. Question number 3, female, 26 to 29, out of Ohio. My boyfriend refused to let me buy my own house and is putting a strain on our relationship. Wait a minute. How he gonna refuse to let you do anything? Let's just start there. Anyway, she says, Deb, my dream my whole life, I'm 26 now, has been to own my own home. I'm not a person that wants to wait until after I'm possibly married at some point in my life. I've always wanted to buy as soon as I was able to. Good for you. My boyfriend is 28 and we don't live together. We have our separate spaces, my preference, but we hop back and forth between each of our places, basically living in both. I decided it was way overdue for me to buy my own place and told him I was looking. We can both move into it and we can finally stop living in two places. This started a huge argument. Okay, you again not gonna like what I have to say. He doesn't think I should, and even went so far as to try to stop me from looking. I keep asking why he doesn't want to have an actual house to live in, a place that's ours, and his only response is, "You're going to regret buying so young. It's a stupid idea. You don't know what you're doing." Except I do know what I'm doing. This doesn't make sense to me. Why is he doing this? With all as much conflict as this is causing us, I feel like we're headed for a breakup. Deb, am I wrong for wanting to do this? Absolutely not. What you're wrong for is arguing with somebody else about what you do with your damn money. That's what you're wrong about. You don't argue with nobody. Your mama, your daddy, your boss, your neighbor, your friends, and especially some dusty butt man trying to stop you from being great. Stop you from achieving and making your dream that you've had since you were a little girl come true. Do you understand what you just said to me in this letter? You're not really understanding. I can tell you're not getting it. This dude is just a saboteur. He wants to keep you at the bottom. He is an albatross around your neck. He doesn't want you to fly. He wants you to stay at the bottom with him, renting and wasting your money. Girl, I'm going to tell you this. If you have the money to buy yourself anything, a condo, a townhouse, rental property, whatever, do it. Okay, do it. It's going to give you it's going to start laying a solid financial foundation for you that you can use as a springboard. Once you pay it, then you can get like a second or something and go buy another property. You can do all kinds of stuff, but you got to get your foot in the door. He's trying to keep you from doing that. And I'm going to tell you something else. When you get your house, don't you ever let no clown ass man move up in your house. That's your spot. You don't want them in there talking about it'll be ours. No, it's yours. Don't you let them put their name on nothing. Don't you let them have no bills in their name. Don't you sign anything over to them or add their name to nothing that you put your money for. Don't you ever, ever, ever do that. And any of you listening to this, don't you do that. It's just too stupid. You're going to be putting all your money and having your dreams all messed up, giving him half of what you got when he doesn't deserve a dime of anything. Get rid of him. Okay, get rid of him and go and do what it is you want to do. Because your boyfriend is a loser. He done showed his colors now. Get rid of him. And after you get your house, I'm telling you, don't even let him come over. He's going to be trying to apologize and ease his narc way up in there. Don't do it. Don't let him stay. Don't let no man even do more than maybe spend one night. Not even a whole weekend. You go to his house. You keep your house and you keep your house for you and maybe your mama and your dog and your cat or whatever. And that's it. Okay, because that's yours. I am so serious about this. So many disasters befall young women. They lose everything trying to keep up, please some dusty ass man. Yeah, even after you marry, right? You keep that as your sole and separate property. And make him sign a quitclaim deed if you do decide to get married. So he don't have no interest in your stuff. That's yours. It's yours now. It's yours tomorrow. It's going to be yours forever. Okay? You don't understand the terminology I'm using, go consult an attorney about how you can protect your financial investments away from being community property. I don't know. I don't even know if Ohio is a community property state. It might be a moot point. But even if it isn't, you still listen to what I'm saying about letting some dusty ass man move up in your place and try to stake a claim on your house and be trying to get half when you guys break up. Don't do it. Question number 4, female, 21 to 26, out of Austin. I have been dating a guy for the last 8 months. He is an entrepreneur, hence he's everybody messing with me now using hints. He's always busy, but lately he has been very busy, some new venture. And our communication has fallen off since the beginning of February. Though he tries to contact me while going, what? He hasn't contacted all, even more than 24 to 36 hours will go by without even a word until I initiate. He also keeps on canceling dates for some meeting or the other. Our last date was 3 weeks ago. There's no doubt of him doubting. There's no question of doubting him. He is loyal, I know, but I feel that if you love someone, you can try to be in touch. He went on an official business trip without telling me and called me after the next day to inform me that he's out of town. I do understand the nature of his work, but sometimes I feel abandoned in the last priority in his life, which hurts me. I've tried to talk to him, but to no avail. He says he's mentally exhausted at the end of the day and so busy throughout the day with meetings that he doesn't even have time to eat. I understand, but at the same time, I feel hurt and feels are his feelings fading? Who gives a shit? Yours should be. How many times do I have to say this? Okay, he's not giving you the relationship you want. He's not giving you the relationship you need. You get rid of him. You don't be somebody's like situationship at his convenience when he want to roll through because he's horny. That's all you got right here. Okay, you've been somebody's convenience for 8 months. Don't you don't get it? You don't see what's happening here? Nothing that you want is happening. Your needs for companionship, time, and attention are not being met at all. He's not even trying to meet them. You are not a priority to this man. You are a convenience, a booty call. Okay, that's all this is. So you need to, and days go by with no, you until you initiate. He's not caring. He don't give a shit about you. I don't know how much it takes for you young girls to get it. When a man is into you, you can't get rid of him. He be trying to be up in your face. Oh, I had a guy who used to come to my house. He would drive. Okay, he got an hour lunch, right? And I worked. I lived. I don't know, maybe I don't know, 15 minutes, 12 minutes from where he worked. So he would leave work, race to his car. He brought his lunch to work, come to my house because that's when I was working as a trainer. I had weird shifts. I would work early in the morning, then the midday I was, just knocking around, and then I'd work in the evening when people got back off of work. So I was usually at home during the middle of the day. So he'd come over and he'd sit there and he'd shove down his lunch for that 30 minutes that he had, looking at me and cooing and gooing and rubbing on me. And then he'd jump back in his car and race back to work. And he did that like at least 3 days a week. That's how a man who is into you behaves. He wants to be in your face. He wants to talk to you. You don't have to hunt him down. He's trying to find you. But you girls are so used to not having that kind of, the man having that kind of interest in you and being that desirous of your attention and your affection and even just looking at you that you feel like you have to chase it. Honey, this dude is not into you. Just cut him loose. I'm sure if you stop calling him, he wouldn't even notice the difference. Walk away. Yeah, I'm telling you, let's talk. I don't understand. Somebody said their boyfriend's threatened to punch him. Well, unfortunately, the pretty sweetie, this isn't. We don't do the advice questions here. These are the ones that people have already sent in. Go in the show description and click that link that says get advice, and your question can be answered on next week's show. I have releases and things that I do that. Alternatively, on Thursday, we're doing $5 advice question for those of you who want to get your question answered like right now, might don't want to wait for next Tuesday or possibly miss out because we don't put every question in. That's Thursday. So check the show lineup for the live streams and you'll see that. So you just come, make your $5 donation or more, of course, is always accepted. And then you answer your question and get it asked on the air. Okay. Um, okay, so that's that. Yeah, that there's point. He just got every excuse in the world why he can't contact you, and you only 21 to 26 age group. Girl, stop chasing men. Question number 5, male, 21 to 26, no city. Oh, okay. I work night shift and she works mornings. Basically, I get off at 7 to 7:30, come home, eat a snack, walk the dog. Then my girlfriend comes home while I'm asleep, either at 11 a.m. or 3 p.m. She works 8 or 12-hour shifts. She will then wake me up to walk the dog or hang out with her. Always long before I have slept my full 8 hours, usually getting around 5 hours. On days she has off, she will stay in the same room I'm trying to sleep in, so I wake up often from noise or movement. I'm constantly tired and have no libido. She thinks I'm rejecting her and her body when the problem is I'm just exhausted. What is a good solution? Slap the shit out of her. Say, cuss her out. Tell her, get the fuck out. What the roast wrong with you? I'm tired. Take your happy ass into one of the other rooms. Go somewhere. Do something with yourself. Once you go off on her, she'll stop. But you trying to be all nice. See, one thing about me, I when I'm tired or hungry, I turn into a fool. All my friends, it's like my head turns around like the exorcist, and I start being stupid. It's like my blood sugar gets low, and I just go crazy. That's not a good scene. Neither is it good when I'm tired. So, yeah, she would have, a problem. She would have a problem from me, and she's being very selfish, very self-centered, very inconsiderate, and just a bitch. And there's no reason for her to be in the same room where you're trying to sleep. The door should be closed, and she should be in the other room somewhere, being quiet, or watching TV, reading a book, or going outside playing with the dog, or doing something with herself, other than messing with your sleep. So you're gonna have a talk with her about that, and just be very firm and say, look, if this keeps up, we're gonna have to separate. You're gonna have to move out because I can't be like this. It's gonna make me have problems at my job, which is gonna impact my money. So you either make a decision to be in the other room and be quiet and let me get my sleep, or you need to move out. Those are the two choices. Or I'll move out. One of the two. So which one do you want it to be? And just put it to her like that. Yeah. Yeah, she would be getting cussed out. I'm telling you, I know me. Because it's like I already cussed this dude. Okay, one of my neighbors. I really think something might be wrong with him because he don't look right. You know what I mean? He look kind of okay. So about a week or two ago, he done take to walking around in the middle of the night, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, on the phone. And when people are like not, they talk real loud. You know what I mean? They talk real loud. Okay, it's the middle of the night. It's quiet as hell. Your voice is carrying like for miles. And he walks right by my bedroom window talking on that phone. I said straight up in the bed, I said, Donnie, shut the fuck up. You talking too damn loud. It just popped out. I didn't even, and I could hear him saying, "Oh, this." Not. But I'm like, dude, what the fuck? What do you think? You walking by everybody's room, on the upstairs level. You walking by our windows are right there. But yeah, he got cussed out. I mean, like instantly. So I know, and that's my neighbor. I don't even know dude that well. I mean, I know his first name. That's all I know. But this situation right here, she would have either got booted out or she would have got cussed out, possibly both. I know me. Yeah, I know what I'm telling you. When I get hungry, you better throw me a Scooby snack or something because it just gets really bad. Get quick. It gets bad quick. All right, you guys shared the link around. Did you share your link on your social media? Get your friends on over here for What the Fuck Tuesday. We only on letter number 6. We have 20, so they have plenty of time to come on over. Question number 6. This is another male, 30 to 36, out of the UK. My question is a little different because it addresses parenting. But since I love your tough way of thinking, I decided to write and ask your opinion. Ooh. I'll summarize as best I can. I have full time custody of my son. He's 4 years old, has plenty of friends at school, and seems to really enjoy himself. He's the only one that wears glasses, as far as I know. Twice the past few weeks, he has had his glasses broken through no fault of his own. The first time a friend took the glasses off him and stomped on him, a teacher saw it. The parent apologized profusely and offers to pay for the glasses. My son and other kid are friends, so we didn't worry too much about it, telling our son that nobody's allowed to take his glasses and that they are not toys. The two of them are best friends still and play with each other all the time after the incident. The other day, a different kid, who the teachers tell me has behavioral problems, pushed my son to the ground for no reason, breaking his glasses and leaving a deep, nasty cut just an inch or two above his eye. Oh boy, what kind of fool would I be acting right about now? A teacher again witnessed it and said it was totally unprovoked. The child in question has been annoying my son and other children for some time, and the teachers are aware of the situation, but nothing's been done about it. After that incident, they said it won't happen again, and I said that it definitely better not. I told my son if anyone's trying to hurt him to push them away and tell them to leave him alone, then go tell a teacher. Well, today my son pushed a different kid for no reason, so I'm told. I have yet to get speaking to him about it. His mother told me over the phone. When I do, I will be asking what happened and why he pushed the other kid. If it turns out to be true that it was unprovoked, I would make it very clear to him that what he did was wrong and blah, blah, blah. His mother and I disagree about him defending himself. I feel he's entitled to do so, but she says he should never push back and just tell a teacher, your wife is stupid. My problem is the teachers were made aware for quite a while about the issue. My son never stood up for himself, which resulted in a bad cut beside his eye. I don't want my son to grow up being a victim, thinking he is never allowed to defend himself. I've been a young boy myself, and I've been seeing people getting bullied for years after not standing up for themselves. I also don't want him to think it's okay to just push someone unless it's absolutely necessary, i.e., defending himself. I want to make clear I don't condone him pushing another boy today whatsoever, and believe me, he will be punished for it. I am mindful of sending the wrong message, though. I am aware that it could be very confusing for my 4-year-old son hearing conflicting instructions. All I want is the best for him. Was I right or wrong to tell him it's okay to push back? Not only were you right, they're only 4. So if somebody pushes you, you pushing back. At that age, they're not really into, punching yet. But the kids that are pushing now, in a couple of years, they're going to be the one punching and kicking people. So what you need to do is as soon as possible, if your son's going to be wearing glasses, that's a target for other kids that are stupid and the parents didn't raise them well. So they're going to be trying to pick on your son about his glasses, and you can expect to have more broken glasses because that's what happened. Somebody did it to my daughter. I marched. I called them parents up there and said, "You're going to pay me $350 right now," because I had just bought those glasses. I still had the receipt. The glasses wasn't a month old. And it was, 300, well, 50 something dollars. And I said, and anything less is unacceptable because they're not even a month old yet. And here they are with duct tape on them. And so they were like, well, but it was kids to be kids. I said, that might be true, but your child is the one responsible. In any court of law, I would win. Plus, you would have to pay legal fees. So I think the shortcut right now is for you to just buy her a new pair of glasses to replace the ones that your child broke. And so they wrote the check because they know I worked at a law firm. See, now we've been ready to go, and I can get my legal services for free. You're going to have to pay for yours. Plus, you're going to have to pay the court costs. Plus, you're going to have to pay whatever the damages are that I decide that my child suffered for the emotional devastation of your child hurting her and her having to get teased even more for having tape on her glasses. So they thought about all that, and then they wrote that fucking check. And that's what, was the situation. So you, sir, are right. Your wife is wrong. Tell your wife that she's going to raise a pussy boy that's going to be a victim all his life, just sitting there taking somebody, abusing him. You have to fight back in this world. Whether you fight back with words, you fight back with attorneys, you fight back with your fist, you fight back with bullets. Whatever way it is, you need to fight back. You do not stand there and let somebody abuse you. That is the most wrong message that you can send your child ever. And you need to make sure your silly wife understands that. Talking about you just no reason. Yes, it is. It's always a reason. But I agree with you. You need to find out what happened because them saying it was no reason, you don't know that. It could be something that the teachers missed. They just happen to be witnesses to the other situations, but they can't be everywhere at all the time. So he may have a valid reason why he did what he did. So I appreciate the fact that you want to investigate before you just start levying out a punishment. But make it very clear, like you said, son, when someone pushes you and they're trying to hurt you, you have every right to defend yourself. They push you, you push them back. They hit you, they hit you back. They kick you kick them back. But you don't ever hurt anybody first. You're not going to do that. I'll beat your little ass. Okay, and make that very clear to him. But that was it. I mean, it's good to get different kind of questions sometimes. Yeah, I'm just saying, because I work too hard for my money. And it's like, by then I was doing it by myself and stuff. And, I didn't have vision plan at that point. It cost more than just buying the glasses. I was doing some quick calculations. I'm like, it's cheaper to just pay for the eye exam and buy the glasses myself. So that's what I did. Okay, question number 7. This is from a young woman in the 26 to 29 age group out of Southern California. Hi, Deb. I'm seeing a great guy who happens to identify as, quote, submissive. Oh, I thought it was odd initially, though I shrugged it off, until he made a very bizarre request. He asked that I lock his eggplant up in a chastity cage when we are apart and for as long as I please. Initially, I was weirded out. Those cages look like prison. They have a lock and key and everything and are made just for that control. So when a man is wearing us, he has no access to his eggplant. Other than this weird desire to be controlled, he is a sweetheart working guy. He respects me and is attentive and otherwise a tough guy in the army. But I just don't understand this, and it makes me Cringe. I'm not sure this will come off as trolling or whatever, but I'm not. I'm honestly hoping to get your thoughts on this. Well, I can tell you, you're right, because a lot of people be like, that's a fake letter. That's what they always say. But having been doing this for almost 30 years, I know people have all kinds of situations and they're all real. So, these fetishes are very, in one form or another, people like feet, people like, just they like all kinds of stuff, hot things, cold things, just, animals. People have some very, very weird ideas about stuff. And I just like, okay, I know there's probably a lot of women, there's women that come in this chat that's always worrying about what some man's doing with his eggplant. They would probably love that because that's the number one response they have to something is that's what he's doing. He's, screwing around. So for them, that would probably be right down their alley. For me, I don't want to be that in control over somebody. I used to, fantasize about being a dominatrix, and I probably could do that for the money. But it has like a parameter around it. They're like a client. And as it was, my personal training clients used to tease me and say that, that was like my sub career because of the way I would be torturing them. But I could see myself doing that. I could not see myself locking somebody up in a cage. It would trigger something from like my ancestors and stuff, because that's what they used to do to us. But they would put it on our faces. I don't want to see that. Just thinking about it gives me the willies. So, you have to decide if that's something you could tolerate. See, me knowing me, I would probably do it one time just to see, because I'm just curious like that. I want to see what this should look like. And then once I saw it and saw how he acted and stuff, I'll be like, oh, hell no. I'm out. Deuces, you freak, you weirdo. I don't want no parts of you. Get out. But, if you don't want to be that brave and you're not curious like me, because I want to see stuff, so I could come and talk about it to you guys like, girl, let me tell you what I saw this weekend. But if you're not like that, just get rid of them. Tell them, you going down the path I ain't trying to follow, homeboy. So you just going down that little dust trail by yourself, and I'll check you out in another lifetime, maybe. Question number 8, female, 56 to 65, from Guildford, Surrey, England. My boyfriend and I have been dating for 6 months. I live in Guildford and he lives about 150 kilometers away. Over the last 3 months, he keeps telling me he wants to marry me without waiting much longer. He says, what are we waiting for at our ages? He is 68 and I'm 62. Well, he has a point. Because, next week you could be like, I get that, but I think that even though we love each other, we need more time because we only see each other on weekends due to the 2-hour drive. I suggested last night that maybe we can live together first starting this fall, and if all goes well, marry about 6 to 8 months later. He said that he wouldn't sell his home and business to move here unless we are married. Also, my daughter is getting engaged in April and probably married next May, so I don't think it's right for me to be getting married in the next year until she's out of the house. I'm a widow. How do I slow him down without losing him? I know the commute isn't great, but I don't see another option yet. Oh, stop being scary. Your ass is as old as dirt. What the hell do you think is going to happen? I mean, he got a house, you got a house. I mean, you know what I mean? The investment in here is equal. And stop trying to use your grown ass daughter as an excuse. She's about to go do whatever her thing is, and she is not thinking about you. So you need to stop putting your life on hold. For her, she's an adult. She don't care what you do. And if she's all bothered about it, she can go move in with her boyfriend now. Or they already engaged and stuff. Get out, or go move in with one of your friends or something. Or get your own place. Whatever you need to do. But this is what mom get ready to do, and just deal with it. So I don't know. I'm just seeing that you have cold feet. You don't really want to get married to this man. You probably don't even like him that much. And your ass is old as like I said, you've played with baby Jesus and shit. You sitting up there talking about, I know we're old, but we should wait. What you waiting for? He's almost 70 and you hot on his heels? What is wrong with you? I don't understand. Yeah, they are old as dirt. I'm telling you, it's like this ridiculous. Shut up, lady boss. Called him elderly. Oh, they are though. Sit up here trying to have angst about waiting. Heifer, you better get your go over there and sign on the dotted line before if something changes and dude kills over dead. Then you'd be like, oh no, I should have married him. What was I waiting for? Let's move on because this is silly for you to be this old. Question number 9, male, 37 to 45, out of London. Got all these letters from the UK lately. Somebody must have put my name on a. She waiting on the funeral. You know what? Where did I find her? She found me. She must be because I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, 37 to 45, out of London. About 8 years ago, I had some friends who either had severe mental health issues. I would have had them friends for about 30 seconds. Were bullies, or we had no common ground. I joined meetup groups to meet some like minded people. My old friends slowly faded away. I made some fantastic friends over the years through meetups, and we would go do our own things away from the group and go on holiday, etc. Several years on, I feel like I'm in the same predicament. Most of my friends either have gone in different directions in life. Some are career focused or bought a house, so cannot afford to come out due to a mortgage, or are married with a child and refuse to come out due to child care issues. Whilst I understand it is a part of life, I don't understand why people just drop their friends because something else came along. Social media does not help, as it seems other people are always out enjoying themselves, but I know this is not the reality, as I saw one guy who was a party animal food shopping in the evening. The loneliness is starting to affect my mental health. Should I try reconnecting with my old friends, or go back to meet up again, or try something new? I know of other people who have bought homes and had families, yet they still make time for their friends. Okay, how old are you? 37 to 45? You act like a big baby. Okay, your social life should never be dependent upon your friends, especially ones that are in relationships with responsibilities like wives and children. Okay? And people saying that they have mortgages and all this kind of stuff, that means they don't have, frivolous money to spend. What option might you have in a situation like that? Well, can I pick up a six pack and stop by for an hour or two just to catch up? You don't have to go anywhere. I'll buy. I pick up a pizza. All right, where you in London? I'll pick up some fish and chips. Okay, so you show that you're willing to invest the money that your friend is, but your focus is on seeing your friend. Okay, have you done anything like that? Have you invited them to your house where there's no money, really to spend? They're a guest. Have you done that? There's options here that I'm not seeing that you did. I'm seeing you complaining, and oh, thank you, sweet Monique. I'm seeing you complaining about these people not meeting your needs, like that's what they're supposed to do. They're not under no obligation to do any of that, sir. You're responsible for your own feelings and your own happiness and your own loneliness too. So you got options with meetups. Go. I don't know if they have like bowling leagues and stuff like that in London, but whatever you guys do, and group things like stuff. I mean, a lot of people hang out and they form some good friendships out of those things. And those bowling leagues will last, for several months. So you'll be seeing these people a lot during that period of time. But, just find something that you like to do and then go and join some meetups and do it. It's a great way to get out the house. It's a great way to interact with people. And I don't know why you would stop. Yeah. So I don't know, but that's what I'm seeing is that you didn't do. You have these friends and you claim you want to see them, but you're not really making an effort in a way that would meet their needs. You're only talking about yours. So if they don't can't do babies, they need babysitters and all that kind of stuff. I mean, if your friend needs a babysitter, did you offer to pay? Say, I'll pop out $50, for you guys to come out because I really miss seeing you. Would that be okay? Do you have a good sitter that you know that you mind? I'll help out with the babysitting fee because I think you probably want a night out anyway, and I really want to spend some time with you. Okay? Because you don't have the responsibilities they have, so you should have some more money. I'm just saying. I'm saying. Yes, Lady Boss is cray. She cray cray. All right, question number 10. This is a male, 26 to 29, out of Los Angeles. 2 years ago, I was accepted into a few different schools for my PhD. Hmm, look at you. One of the schools I got into was in LA. Despite having never visited before, my wife really liked the idea of living here. She fell in love with LA and told me it had always been her dream to live in a big city with beautiful weather. So we ended up in LA. Mentioning these potentially unidentifiable details are important since it's a very expensive city, especially the area surrounding my school. The goal was that we'd rent a studio together while living on her income once she found a job and on my stipend. We moved, found a pretty old and small, thankfully rent-controlled studio for $14.50. After about 4 months, it seemed like she gave up entirely on job searching. In retrospect, I'm not really sure how serious she was on finding a job. My monthly quote income is $2,500. This includes my stipend and a side tutoring gig. Considering our rent, bills, and food, at the end of the month, we're left close to nothing or nothing. I've talked to her about it. She knows how terrible and unstable our financial situation is, but each time she's told me that she enjoys staying at home. She enjoys cleaning. She enjoys taking care of me, making me food, living a domestic lifestyle. She enjoys having the free time to be with me when I'm free myself. That this is the most comfortable she's felt in a long time. Each and every time I begged her to find a job, and that when I'm in a better financial position to support her, we can discuss it again. But she refuses and says that she can just survive like this since we have been doing it for 2 years. Short of leaving her, I'm not sure what to do. She does keep our apartment very clean, all 350 square feet of it, and she cooks a lot. Honestly, I'm also embarrassed to have a housewife while I'm not even employed. Most of my peers are completely baffled that my wife is happy to be a housewife on our paltry stipend, but most of them are having a hard time supporting themselves with two incomes. It's gotten to the point where the topic of my wife comes up, the other person inquires about her, I switch the topic. She wasn't like this before moving to LA. I wouldn't call her ambitious, but she had a good job where she performed well, was diligent, and seemed to enjoy work. Lately, I've been considering leaving her. I know my financial situation really wouldn't improve, but I'm finding that this development makes me not as attracted to her. As terrible as it sounds, I don't know if her finding a job would actually make me feel more attracted. A part of me feels like my image of her has been permanently changed. I'd also feel guilty because if we did get divorced, she'd most likely have to move back to Nebraska. She really loves LA and the area that we're in, and I'd feel bad taking that away from her. So what? Shit. She reneged on the deal that y'all set up. And for that, I don't know if it's divorceable, but I can understand how you're feeling. You're feeling tricked, betrayed, overburdened with responsibility, and like she just doesn't give a shit. Like she's getting what she wants out of it, and you're the one suffering. That's how you're feeling, resentful and angry. I understand completely what you're feeling, sir. I'm with you on there. I would feel the same way. So the only option you have is to say, look, we got two choices here. Either you are going to get a job, even if it's a part-time one, you need to bring in X amount of money every month. If you continue to refuse to do this, I'm filing for divorce. I can't live like this. Where I'm sitting here I'm struggling to make ends meet. I'm struggling to finish school. I'm struggling to do everything, and I feel like I'm in it by myself while you just sitting there with your legs crossed enjoying life baking cookies. That's not what we signed on for. That wasn't our agreement. You got here and you pulled the rug out from under me and think I'm just supposed to continue being like this. I'm fucking miserable. I hate you right now. How can you dare to think that this is fair to treat me like this while you claim you love me and you're dogging me out and making me more stressed than I need to be successful at school? You're not a partner. You're just a fucking albatross around my neck. I want you gone. If you get a job or you get out. That's what you tell her. But see, I don't know. It's like a lot of these men, it's like the guys are just they're either like just complete assholes or they're just wimps and they don't know what to say or how to say it. One thing is this: even if she was upset at you saying it, she would respect you for saying it. She'd be like, "Dog, this gravy, this ride you on, honey, this your ticket is punched. It's the time to get off, cause we ain't doing this no more. I'm done. You got 1 week. I don't give a fuck if you go work at a temp agency, Kelly Girls or whatever they have. That you better do something to make some money. Cause this here, what you trying to do, this ain't working. Just cause it's working for you, but there's two people here. It ain't working for me at all. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, she trying to bank on when he gets that PhD and he's working in wherever he gonna be doing because he didn't say what it was in, and be making some major bank. But even with a PhD, it takes time to build that kind of. You go into a university and stuff, you got to get tenured, and that takes time. So it's not like he's gonna be like this major bank maker all right away. And plus, he's gonna have student loans and whatnot up the yin yang. So she's tripping. She's not doing this right. And it is very expensive to live in California. So I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, she could do something. She could do part time work. Work at a cafeteria or Walmart, anything. Just show the man that she's trying to do something to contribute, and so that they both come up. But she's not doing that. She's just sitting there with her legs crossed. So yeah, I would be like, nah, you got to go. You go back home to your mama. Question number 11. Female, 26 to 29, out of Columbia, South Carolina. I met a really great guy online. Oh, here we go. We had our first date a couple of weeks ago. It went really well, and I felt really attracted to him physically, intellectually, and emotionally. I've been attracted. It's been a while since I met someone I liked so much. He gave me butterflies, and he would be the main subject of my thoughts after that first day. Okay, she's an obsessive type. I was telling everyone about him. I was pleased that he felt a similar way about me. He was texting all the time, making his interests clear, sending me funny selfies at work, and sharing things with me. I was looking forward to our second date. All of that on the first date? However, on the second date, he looked a bit different in his appearance. He even warned me of this in a joking way right before the date. By the way, I look awful. He had been working nights that week with little sleep, and he came to our date wearing a big pair of glasses that hid almost half his face. I think he is someone that looks a lot better without glasses, but of course, it's not my place to say that. I appreciate the fact that he still came out despite being so worn out, but it did have a negative effect on my level of physical attraction. However, I am still attracted to his personality and intellect, but I do need to feel physical attraction in order to date someone. So there was quite a difference in how I felt about him physically on the first versus the second date, but the fact that I did feel physical attract this girl is crazy. On the first date shows it was perhaps a one off on the second date, which might not be there next time. I'm wondering whether I should try a third date with him. Thanks for your advice. Wait a minute, how old are you again? You are 26 to 29 and you have the mentality of a 13-year-old? Are you kidding me right now? Because a man wore some glasses, you ready to ditch the whole situation that you was all gung-ho about? You're weird, lady. There's something wrong with you. This makes no sense. Even when people wear contacts, sometimes they do have to wear glasses. And if his glasses are unflattering, he could get a different pair of glasses. He doesn't have to wear them like what they used to call them that little Adam ant, that fly that had giant glasses. It was a cartoon we used to watch when I was a little kid. I was like, I don't understand. What I don't understand. And you always focus on physical attraction, but you are attracted to his personality and intellect. Don't you understand that that's the only thing that remains a constant? Until unless people get Alzheimer's or something, then the intellect goes. But the personality is the only thing that you really in a relationship with. As you age, your looks change. You gain weight, you lose weight, and yours would change too, madam, with pregnancy. So don't be thinking you're gonna have that little cute banging body forever. You might could get it back, but when you're pregnant, you don't look like that. You look different, just like he looks different with a pair of glasses. So I'm looking at you and I'm thinking you're very extreme. I mean, like you're so immature, it's not even funny. You're not ready for a relationship with a guy who's serious. You just need to stay over there in Dustyville with the ones that look cute and stay over there with dealing with that because you're not ready for a mature relationship. Your focus is all on something stupid. And you want to not have a third date because the man wore a pair of glasses. I don't even know what to say. Yeah, she crazy. I'm just, you know what I mean? Well, I mean, he evidently he had contacts on the first time, But then he wore glasses, and she said they were big and covered half his face. Okay, that means he must not wear them very often because, and when you're really tired, you putting stuff in your eyes irritates them even more. Because you know how your eyes will get red and stuff when you're tired. So you done putting in a contact might not be the move you want to make. So he wore his glasses. Yeah. So I'm like, when you ready to give all of that up, all the texting he did, all the attention he was showing, all the interest he has in you, all of that because a man wore a pair of glasses. You're a dumb lady. You're crazy. You're gonna miss out on something really stellar and or could with the possibility of being and throwing it away because of a pair of glasses. I'm just like, I'm not believing this. I am not believing this. Yeah, braces. A lot of people don't like braces. Well, even braces. Man, when two people have braces, well, I don't know the old kind with the metal thing on the outside. Now people have the thing on the inside. But they used to be trying, kids, teenagers would be trying to kiss and their braces would lock together. I was always glad I didn't have to have the braces. All right, let's move on. Ooh, because that's a doozy. Question number 12, female 30 to 36 out of Eugene, Oregon. So I've been dating my boyfriend for 5.5 months. He asked to be exclusive on the third date. He's a divorced father of two young children and he's very dedicated to his kids and he lives a few blocks away from them. He's met my mom and my stepdad. He hasn't met my dad yet because my dad lives out of state in the winter. I met his brother, his friends, and I've spoken with his other brother and mom through video chat since they live overseas. I have not met his kids yet, but he's mentioned introducing me once or twice, but it hasn't happened yet. In the beginning, I thought I'd give him 6 months to introduce me, but now since the 6 month mark is drawing close, I think I need to bring it up. He has introduced his ex girlfriend to the kids, and the kids didn't take it well, so I know he's apprehensive about introducing someone new to them. We've discussed the future together, like having children and stuff, and we're on the same page when it comes to that. Another issue is we live about 40 minutes from each other. Okay, he's divorced, but you don't say how old he is. Okay. We live about 40 minutes from each other, see each other twice a week, and that's how it's been since we first started dating. We're both busy. He has his own business and works 6 days a week and sees his kids almost every day. He also has his kids every Saturday night into Sunday and spends a whole day Sunday with them, which is his only day off. So he and I only spend an evening together unless the ex-wife takes the kids away for the weekend. He tells me he loves me all the time and always says how I'm so right for him. However, I feel like the relationship isn't progressing. I mean, yes, I love him and I feel comfortable with him now, and the emotional connection has definitely grown. But in terms of us seeing each other more and doing more things together, it's moving at a glacial pace. I think things may change after I meet his children, but I'm not sure about how to go about bringing it up or if I even should. For reference, I'm in my late 30s and he is in his late 40s. Okay, there it is. Now, just let this go. Let me tell you why. This is a man who's using his children as an excuse. You've been dealing with him for 6 months like this. Now, yeah, seeing somebody once or twice a week when you first, start dating is perfectly adequate. Should that continue for 6 months? No, it should not. This is too much. He wants to have you again. This is a situationship. He's keeping you locked in with these proclamations of love and everything. But as you notice, you're missing something. You want more intimacy. You want more time. You want more attention. You want more of your man, and he's not giving it to you. And he has no intention of giving it to you because he has his life set up in a way that meets his needs, and that's great. I'm happy for him. It's good that he spends that much time with his kids. I have no problem with him doing his fatherly duties. What I'm talking about is him doing that makes him emotionally and physically unavailable to do things with you. So you have to make a choice. It's not about him meeting his kids. He's not going to let you meet his kids. That's out. You don't want to do that because of what happened before. So what you have to do is just tell him, I really like you a lot. And I've realized something over the last few months that I want something that you just can't give me. So let's end this. I'm not going to see you anymore. And I'm going to find somebody who's more available for me physically and mentally and emotionally. And I wish you the best. Thank you for the wonderful memories. Peace out. And then that's it. You're done. That I just this it's not hard. I don't understand why people have so much problem, just separating themselves from. If you just look at this logically, Not emotionally. Oh, but I love him though. But I love him. Don't later for that. What is he giving you? Okay, what is it that he's feeling? What hole in your heart is he feeling? It sounds like he just came in and just dumped a load, literally and figuratively, and then is on about his business. I can't advocate that you can continue with this situation. He's whatever. Question number 13, female, 21 to 26 in Sydney, Australia. I met this guy on a swipey dating app. Oh, no. Oh, and after a few days of texting, he asked us to meet for coffee. We agreed to meet on Saturday morning at a nice coffee shop near Bondi Beach. And I told him I would be going earlier for a walk around there. He said he would be a bit late because he was taking his daughter home, but he would text me. So on that day, he was about 10 minutes late and texted me saying that. And he texted me again saying he arrived at the coffee shop and was going upstairs and to wait for me. I told him I was walking and I'd be there in 2 minutes. When I arrived, he was sitting upstairs and was already having a coffee and a cake. We said hello, etc., and I sat down next to him. He didn't ask if I wanted coffee or anything. We talked for like 5 minutes. Then I told him I was going downstairs to get a coffee for me. He said, "Oh yes, I already got one for me." So I went downstairs, got my coffee, came back upstairs. We talked for a while, and then I said I have to go. He texted me later that day saying he enjoyed meeting me, and we have been texting every day. Then today he said he'd like to see me again, and I just realized how I was put off by his behavior on our coffee meet. First of all, he should have waited for me to arrive to get his coffee. Second, when I arrived, he should have asked me what to do. What do I want to drink and go get a coffee for me? And even later, when I said I was going downstairs to get mine, he should have got up and said he would do that. He did none of this, and he was the one asking me for a date. Basically, I paid for my coffee and a coffee date I was invited to. Was this really rude of him as I feel it was? Should I tell him the truth about how I feel about it, just let him go and not go on any further dates? Thank you, Deb. Well, you better than me because if I sat down, now see, this is the reason why I like coffee dates. You see this? This is exactly the reason because you get on the swipey things, you thinking you got something all interesting and wonderful and stuff, but you haven't met the person in the flesh yet. Meeting people in the flesh so you can read their body language, see their facial expressions, see how they perform in person and interact with people. That is very important. I'm not trying to be stuck on no dinner date with you for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I want to be in and out and check you out in like 20 minutes or less. And if I like what I see, well, then we can keep talking. You inevitably, when that's happened, we evolve to, well, let's have breakfast. Let's go to the movie. Let's because it's going well, and they want to keep keep it going. If not, I'll be like, oh, look at the time. I must go. This has been great. And deuces. And that's why I like coffee dates. Now, the thing about this particular date is once I sat down and he didn't offer, I would have said, well, when are you going to get my coffee? See, that's the difference between you and I. I would have said it even with no intention of seeing him again because he's a dusty. Or if I said if I was going to go downstairs and get my coffee, I would have went downstairs and walked out the door and left him sitting there with his coffee and his cake. So knowing me, I would have done one of those two things. And since you had just been walking, you probably wanted a coffee, so I probably would have done the first one. But there's no way in this world that I would go, you know, he want to have another date. Now I tell him, no, we're not going to do that, and let me tell you why. And then just tell him all this stuff and tell him he was tacky, he was a poor host, and he's as a date he sucks. And then just be like, so I'm not going to see you anymore. Thanks, but no thanks. Question number 14, female, 46 to 55, out of Douglasville. Where the hell is that? Hi, Deb. I went and got married. I have a friend I have known since high school. We never connected in high school because we ran with a different crowd. After high school, I went to the military, had college, had kids. One of the graduates from college. I have a daughter in high school. He, on the other hand, went the opposite direction. I guess life happens to all of us. We started dating, and I found he's a really nice guy compared to the image he had in high school. He's self-sufficient, has his own place, a paid for car, pays his own bills, and is very frugal. Okay, wait a minute. Wait. Let me just stop you right here. You in the 46 to 55 age group, and you giving him credit for having his own place, a paid for car, and paying his bills on time. Your standards, madam, are extremely low. The fact that you thought it important to mention those bare bones basic precepts of manhood, of adulthood, period, as something that is a redeeming quality about this man, I'm worried. Okay, let us continue this letter. Oh, it's in Georgia? Oh, okay. Yeah, because it doesn't say a state, it just says Douglasville. Okay. Thank you, Miss Ball. I had no idea, and I have learned something. So then she writes the question. About the second month we started dating, I found out he has health issues. Ha 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 ha. Such as heart issues and stomach issues, along with a few more things. Sometimes he has to be in the hospital for weeks at a time. I know you're going to cuss me out, but I married him so he can get insurance. I let him know we don't have to be restricted to each other. He can still have his life. I can have mine, which I do because I'm seeing another guy as well who is separated. And she put a frowny face. But perfect corporate American guy. However, I believe he is getting a divorce from being separated for a year. Not really. The agreement with my classmate was for a year, and he pays the difference of the cost to me monthly. The reason I put him on my insurance because of his condition, his insurance is extremely high, and the hospitals were basically giving him the runaround. It is working out. However, I think both of us are catching feelings slowly, and we have been spending a great deal of time together. He is calling me his wife. He has told certain people that he knows that we are married. He has even asked me to move in with him so I can save money. He knows I'm trying to buy a house in October. I like him a lot, but I'm scared because of his health issues and because we grew up different. Where I have a regular 9 to 5, he has a part-time job and he does other things on the side to make money. I just don't see a future, I guess, and that is scary. Then what the hell did you marry him for? And don't until you get a divorce, don't you dare buy nothing. And you got to understand, you making the most money, and you married this dust bunny. Do you understand that if you get a divorce, he can get alimony from you? What were you thinking? If he's getting run around from hospitals, oh well. If he got sick and died, oh, that's what was supposed to happen. Y'all be believing in God so much and stuff, then maybe God decided, it's time for you to go home, Skillet. Why? Who are you to interfere with that? See, that would be my logic. It's like, you being called home, son. So, assalamu alaikum. All that. Bye, deuces, all of those things. You are about to check up out of here, and you ain't getting on my health insurance, and I'm not marrying you. So you handle things way different than I am. You're going to put yourself in a risk, and don't you dare buy anything because he going to be half owner. And then you're going to have to sell it and give him half. What were you thinking? Yeah, he knows you was about to because you mouthed off and told him. I done told y'all to stop telling your men all your business. He didn't need to know you trying to buy a house, and he trying to worm his way around to figure out how he can get half because you talked too much. Oh boy, I'm just like, ooh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. Whew. And you can't say that you only married him for the health insurance because see now that's insurance fraud. And then you get some time. For that, you get on probation. You might have to do 30, 60, 90 days in jail. I mean, all around, you made some very poor decisions to be as old as you are. You need to sit down and really think about this and get yourself out of this situation as expeditiously as possible. Do not move in with him. Don't let him get no credit where you guys got joint anything. He ain't on your bank accounts, nothing. Okay? File for divorce. It was only supposed to be a year. Make it happen. Do not dilly dally with this. You're going to be setting yourself up for financial ruin. Question number 15, female 30 to 36 in New Jersey. I have a friend. Wait, we have known each other since 2014. He knew I always had a brain tumor, but it was small and the medication kept it under control. These past few years, it got increasingly more unlike myself. I became anxious. I lied about stupid things, and my behavior was erratic and odd. I never said anything mean or hurtful to him. I was still sweet and kind, but I became increasingly needy and clingy, leading up to a series of events that ended up in a big fight with him accusing me of not knowing myself and needing to love myself before I can be loved by anyone else. He said I wasn't communicating properly, and he said he never liked me. And oh my God. And he was only taking pity on me. He yelled and told me to get the fuck away from him. It was awful. I felt like dying. This was a man who had always been there for me in big and small ways. A few months later, I ended up collapsing unconsciously and had to be rushed to the hospital. They had to do emergency surgery because the tumor grew too large. My doctor explained to me that my medication had stopped working and the tumor had been significantly growing the past few years. He said it was affecting my cognitive reasoning, causing me to act erratically and do/say things out of character. It was heightening my emotions and creating irrational fears. Now that it's been removed, I feel like myself again and feel so much happier and so different, but I am so ashamed about how I behaved with my friend. And looking back on it is surreal because I feel like I'm remembering someone else in my body doing say things I would never do. I want to deeply, deeply apologize to him, and I know an apology you have to take full responsibility. But at the same time, now that I'm in my right mind and thinking clearly, I would never behave the way I did and disrespect his boundaries the way I did. I wasn't myself, something else took over me. I want to tell him all of this, but I don't want him to think I'm making excuses and not owning my mistakes. I feel so bad. My question is, how do I apologize without using the brain tumor as an excuse? And would you forgive someone if they did explain what the brain tumor was doing to them? Please help in any way you can. He was a dear friend to me, and I miss him deeply and feel so much guilt and pain over what I did. Okay, I've known people that have had brain tumors, a couple of attorneys, as a matter of fact. Having a brain tumor does not make you clingy and insecure, madam. That's your personality. Brain tumors affect people, usually, they become violent and they don't understand why. Some of them might have like sleep, problems, like just pass out for no reason. They have visual problems. They have, hearing issues. Their perception, taste, and stuff will change. All kind of stuff goes on. But what the emotional part, like loving someone, not loving someone, being clingy and needy, that kind of stuff, that don't have nothing to do with this. That's just who you are. So he's done, in other words. He's done, he's moved on, and you need to let this go. Okay, it's nice that you got yourself back together. Trust me, I'm happy for you. But you keep looking back at something and trying to, what do you think is going to happen if you tell him, well, it was because of my brain tumor? And he says, stop fucking lying. I don't give a shit. The brain tumor didn't make you act like that. You chose to act like that. Okay, then what are you going to do? You can't argue with him. He has every right to feel the way he wants to, right? He has every right to not want to deal with you ever again in life. And that's what he said. And he's using profanity to, reinforce it. And that he never liked you and he was taking pity on you. Okay, so what is it that you want to go back to this man and explain anything to him for? You should be blocking him on every possible avenue and not giving 1 second of your energy and life towards this guy. He's done. Okay, it's a wrap. He just went there. Okay, do you not understand what he said and what those words mean? Am I the only one who gets this? I'm just like, what? So, you're saying you don't want to use the brain tumor as an excuse. That's because you can't, because you're making things up. And I also want to say this. Everyone who I know who's had brain tumors gets medical checkups every couple of months because they want to see what's going on with the tumor. At least, every 6 to 8 months. So for you to have it had been growing, quote, years, and you didn't know, there's something wrong with your story. Either you had a worst medical team in the history of the earth, or you're lying. So I don't know which one it is, but I'm gonna just tell you. I worked at a hospital for 7.5 years. I saw all kinds of stuff, and I have never ever seen anybody have a brain tumor that made them clingy like this. That's not that you're reaching here. I'm not buying it. Question number 16, female, 21 to 26, out of Florida. My boyfriend has broken up with me 3 times in a row. Oh, okay. After one time, don't you understand that ain't your boyfriend no more? You don't get that. Let us proceed. He broke up with me 3 times in a row in a really hurtful way because he thinks I don't make him enough of a priority. Each time he's called me names and told me that we were done for good. Each time I was crushed and took his word for it. Each time he reached out to me after some days, and when I haven't responded immediately, he's flooded me with messages saying we need to talk ASAP. The third time he ended things with me, he broke my trust in a very bad way because he basically shared something very sensitive about me with my parents in an email. I told him this thing in confidence and was devastated that he told them when he knew I didn't want them to know. It's made the difficult relationship I have with him even worse. Then he reached out with me again on Valentine's Day wanting to talk. It was clear that he wanted us back together. He seemed surprised about how upset I was with him about sharing my secret and insisted that it was done out of good intentions. I finally lost it and told him exactly what I thought of his actions. To my surprise, he was very understanding and even apologetic. He asked if I would reconsider the relationship. Him being so on board with that made what I said made me think that it might be hope for us, but I was still very hurt about his breach of trust. I was really emotional and confused by it all and told him I needed some time. But then after just one day, he messaged me again, justify why he sent the email to tell me that he really loves me. I didn't reply. The next day we talked for a few hours and he was sweet. Okay, you going into too much detail. Blah, blah, blah. The next day, okay, where's the time that you asked for here? I keep saying the next day, the next day, the next day. The next day I got a message from him with a love poem that he wrote to me. Of course, it made me sentimental. Today I got another message where he said this was his final goodbye, that he wished me the best and that he would now put all the photos away of us and clear away things from our relationship from his apartment. I feel like he's messing with my head. You just now figuring that out? I don't even know why I feel sad about it all. A part of me thinks anything is the right thing, but another part of me keeps second guessing it. Should I have given him another chance? I feel like I can't think straight at this point. Girl, why? Okay, what is it that you were giving a chance to for him to cuss you out again? Because that's the only thing that's going to happen. Okay, a man broke up. In any game, three strikes you out, right? Three strikes you out. Three balls, you new runner. Um, I don't understand what it is that you think that you would have achieved by giving this fool another chance to come in your life. This is a narc. Okay, this is a narc. He wants to treat you any kind of way he wants you, and for you to just be there waiting for him when he decides to mosey on back with his song and dance routine. You did good to get rid of him. Make sure that he stays gone. Okay, stop doubting yourself. Stop second guessing yourself. And stop thinking that you deserve somebody to be in your life calling you horrible names and saying horrible things to you and that that's love. Don't you, y'all? And then gonna violate your trust and tell your parents something. See, this is another thing too. I done told you all this. Stop telling your boyfriends everything about yourself. Don't tell them shit. Half the time you can't even tell husbands. And that's people that you've taken vows with, because you know what? People get divorces. If you have a secret to something, you know the only way it stays a secret when you keep your big mouth shut. Once you tell one person, it's no longer a secret and it risks being exposed to the world. Because people have big mouths and they like to gossip, especially you tell a woman. Any woman that you tell your business to and she got a husband or a boyfriend, you can bet he knows all your business because these bras don't can't cold water. They be cuddled up in the bed and here all he is. Oh, so how's your friend so and so? That's all she needs because she don't have no business of her own. So she going to fill his ear with yours. That's why you don't be telling bras all your business. I don't care who it is. You made some real gross errors here. At least you're very young. You're in the 21 to 26 age group, so you get cut a little bit of slack because you might not know any better. But everyone should know when somebody calls you names and tells you that they're done, that you should listen to that, especially to the name calling part. Okay, you're not gonna stay in my life and you call me names. You don't get to do that. Being with me is an honor and a privilege. Being in my circle is an honor and a privilege. I'll even let people that come into the chat and on my wall here on YouTube come in here and call me names. I get rid of them. So, and I don't even know these people. They have no bearing in my life at all. But you know what? That's not something you get to do. You don't get to treat me that way. You don't get to treat my visitors that way. You call Lady Boss or any of these other people some name, your ass is bounced up out of here. That's how we do things here. So I'm not going to take it for myself, and I'm not going to let you do it to them. And I'm not going to do it to nobody that is in my circle that I care about. It's not going to happen. So you, lady, need to care about yourself at least that much, and you don't. Stop second guessing yourself. Whew, I'm going to have to go over these letters on Friday with our person who's going to be back. We met her chat yesterday, got all kind of messed up. I still don't know what happened. But she's coming back on Friday. So those of you who missed the self-esteem and boundaries chat that was happening last night, it will be taking place on Friday. I rescheduled her to Friday. Okay, so the show I was going to do, I'll have to move that into March. Um, but it will still happen too. I'm going to be talking about how you do control who you love. And a lot of you feel like you don't, and I'm here to tell you, yes, you do. Put your big girl panties on. Yes, you do. So I'll put that on the schedule on the agenda for sometime in March, though. All right. So yeah, this poor chick. Okay, question 17. We get 17 on 20 questions. Thanks everybody for coming to What the Fuck Tuesday. Yeah, hit that like button. And if you are not a subscriber to this channel, already subscribe. This month, the month of March, um, is share a video a day month here. Okay, so just come back as often as you can. Don't have to be every day. And pick a video that you like or one that you think is really, spoke to you or that would help a friend of yours or something. And share it. That's what I'm asking you guys to do. So the word can help, help get the word out. It's great that all of us know, you know it and all of you are great fans and stuff. Please, I'm not begrudging that at all. But it's, kind of help get the word out. Share a link. Month is March of 2020. All right, question 17. Female 30 to 36 out of Greater London, she says. I have been in a long term relationship for 10 years and married for 2. We have 2 children. My husband can be very difficult at times. He can be controlling. However, I've always stood up to him at that point and still go out with friends and family, despite him possibly being in a huff or upset about it. He can also be loving, but that can change quickly. My main issue at the moment is when I'm asleep, I have been awoken by him, oh, doing eggplanty things or him doing prep work on me. I am still dreaming. Then I push him away and he pretends like nothing happened. I become embarrassed the next day when I remember bits of it and feel so embarrassed to talk about it, but it makes me feel insecure and dirty. I've read online that some men enjoy this, but I'm not sure if it's right as we are in a relationship. I don't care. I also caught him filming me in the shower the other day and I confronted him, to which he replied, I only want some nice pics. Please, no advice with no judgment. I feel I have no one to speak to. How can I tell people I know about this? I'm so embarrassed. I can't explain why I stay in a relationship, but I find it hard to leave. I have previously left him, but he made my life very difficult, and he did change his ways, so I took him back. I also changed my mind. Maybe it's normal, etc. Thanks for listening, as I'm unsure who else to talk to. You, my dear, are in a very, very, very emotionally abusive relationship. It sounds okay. The clue I was already thinking, but the clue is that this guy taking those pictures and doing all the stuff to you, probably filming because you're asleep and you don't know what's happening, and that's what he's going to use to threaten you when you try to leave him. I will put this online. I'll send it to your parents. I'll send it to all your friends. I'll post it on social media. So you're going to be terrified of him seeing these pictures of him abusing you in your sleep, and of you being nude in the shower. But you know what? If you have a nice body, tell him go ahead because that'll help me find my next man. He's gonna see how fine I am, and then you wonder why you're so stupid that you would advertise the fact that you was too stupid to keep all this. See, you got to flip that shit around on him. And this stuff about posting stuff like if he should dare to post it, tell him that's a federal offense. Well, wait a minute. Are you guys in the UK? Hold on a second. Where is you at? Oh yeah, you're in London. Okay, I don't know the rules over there, but in here, that's an offense. So you could, get you an attorney and sue the pants off of him. And this being in a relationship and married for 2 years, I don't care if you're married or not. This is abuse. He is totally violating all kinds of boundaries and respect for you, of your own body. I don't know you. I don't understand why you can't leave. Um, and then you left, and then you can't went back. Why? Why would you subject yourself to this? It's not like he's the only man on the planet, girlfriend. He's really not. And he's so disgusting. Who does stuff like this? I'm going to say what you should do. I'm sure they have like those battered women's shelter type things. Consult with those counselors about what your options are and what possible laws he has broken in doing these kind of things. I don't, I can't really help you there because, like I said, you're in London. I don't know what the laws are in Great Britain about these kinds of things. My hands are tied. But I would suggest that you consult with someone who does know and find out, what they have to say about it. They might be able to recommend some therapy for you as well, because this is a strict violation. What always worries me when people have young children and they have men that don't respect their adult boundaries, they usually don't respect them for children either. That's very worrisome because he feels a sense of ownership over your body. They also usually feel it over their children. So this is a could be a very high risk situation for you and the kids. So please do what you need to do to protect all three of you, and consult, like I said, with somebody who is in the know about what your rights are and how you can protect yourself. I'm just telling you, the cops don't do anything. Well, she might need to do that. LV, I don't know. Yeah, he is a piece of all of that, Miss Ball. He's all of that. Very negative person. Wow. Yeah, I think I'd have to get him back and take some pictures of him, with like showing it with like a ruler next to it. Say, look how small it is. I'm gonna put this online too. As soon as he's asleep. Pictures him coming out the shower with that little Mr. Stubby. Two can play this game. Question number 18, female, 26 to 29 in the UK. I went on 6 dates from online dating in 1 week. Whoa, whoa. What I learned is number one, men almost always lie about their height. Yes, they do. Number two, on the date, it becomes obvious why they're resorting to online apps. Perceptual distortions, serious flaws, ridiculous expectations, etc. Number three, lack of authenticity. Men behave how they think you want them to. It's very annoying. And then number four, there is more success meeting people in real life. You think so? After years of holding the same opinion about online dating, I decided to be open minded and give it a third try. All of my original suspicions were once again validated. This is making my life more difficult. I am a busy woman. I work full time, study full time, and the remainder is dedicated to physical exercise, making food for the week, standard chores, and resting. This is why I considered online dating, because meeting people this way doesn't require extra energy. We're all on our phones most of the time anyway. So now what? Well, okay, so you work full time. Well, where do you work at though? Because a lot of times, like like here we have that Google, these big companies, Google and all these things, and Facebook and all stuff, and they have like what they call campuses. Like it's like so many buildings filled with different divisions and departments and people. I mean, it could be 3, 4, 5,000 people in this campus thing. So, do you go to any of the events at your job? Sometimes they have stuff like on the weekends, they're going to pick up litter, or they're going to, I don't know, feed the homeless, or, have a fun run or something. I mean, do you participate in stuff like that? You should look into things like that, because you don't have to run in the fun run. You just be out there, socialize. You put the little T-shirt on, they give you a little visor and whatnot, and a water bottle, and you just walk around and you talk to the people that, on your team or the other people. I met a lot of dudes on those kind of things. And then, that's one thing. Meetups, of course, are always good. But what I'm picking up from you, though, is that, you have your life set up so you don't really have time to date. When would you have time to date with all the stuff that you listed? Um, I don't know. I think the main thing is you're gonna have to do is, once you finish school or whatever, and you have some time to devote to someone. Because right now, even if you got in a relationship, when would you have time to spend with them? You'd be squeezing them in and making them feel like they were just an accessory to your life of convenience. That you're not really available, so you need to wait until you get something square here. But volunteering, um, doing those kind of things, community events, political events, all that are always good places to meet people. Might not be people you want to work um, go on a date, but it means you can meet people, and then sometimes you meet somebody through them. Question number 19. This is the next to last question. This is a female 30 to 36 age group out of Dayton. I found out about 12 years ago that my mom stole my identity when I was 18. Oh, a dust bucket. I applied for a credit card only to find out that I already had one in my name. I actually had a lot of credit cards in my name, including an auto repossession and a foreclosure. I was thousands of dollars in debt that didn't even belong to me. I had people calling me, threatening to garnish my wages, take me to court, etc. It was a nightmare. My mom ended up filing bankruptcy in 2013. Fast forward 7 years from that, I am now 30 and finally got my head above water and fixed everything that she did. It was hard work. I never had filed charges against her either. Well, that was stupid. She unfortunately has not changed. She just told me today that she was on the verge of getting evicted and asked me if I would co sign with her on a loan so she can pay her rent and not be homeless. I feel bad, but I said no. Am I wrong for not stepping in and letting my mom get evicted? Nope, you're not. And you know what? Um, I know a lot of people would disagree with me, but my thing is this. What was she doing with all of her money that she can't pay her rent? And this is the thing. So you get a loan, right? She didn't have the money to pay the rent. How's she gonna have the money to pay the rent and the loan? This is not rocket science. So you made the right decision. She done already jacked up your credit. What you guys call that? A credit lock or something? You better investigate that so that nobody can open any more credit cards in your name. And you better run a credit report and make sure that she hasn't forged your signature or something and done that anyway. But yeah, the ladies here were telling me about it. You go to credit agencies and you put what a credit block, a credit lock or something so that you have like a secret password and all the stuff so nobody can open any accounts in your name without that information. You need to investigate that pronto because you already have this history with your mama and her ratchet self. The little girl doesn't know. She just found out when she turned 18 and applied for a credit card. So the mother could have been doing it her whole life. She didn't say that. But she found out when she was 18 and went to try to open a credit card. Credit freeze. Okay, there you go. That's what you need to do, honey, because your mother is a trip and she's going to mess up all the work that you just did to get yourself straight and get out from under all of that negative credit history. She will put you right back in it without a care in the world because she's dusty. And I don't think you're wrong at all. You're protecting yourself. You have a very firm boundary. Good for you. I'm not mad at you for that. Okay, question number 20. This is from a female 30 to 36 in Canada. I dated a man for 5 years. I broke up with him after I asked him to marry him. Asked him to marry me. He said yes, but eventually told me he wasn't ready. Almost a year later, after we had been broken up for a few months, he asked me. We were on a vacation at the time, one we had planned prior to breaking up, and I didn't want to ruin the trip. So I said yes. When we got home, I told him I couldn't marry him. I was jaded and thought maybe the grass was greener. He moved out a few months later. Fast forward 3 years, he came back into my life. I had wanted to contact him from time to time, but thought it was best to stay away. Turns out he came back to use me as a rebound. But we did talk about all the things that went wrong between us, and he said all the things he wished he could have done to stay together. He told me he never wanted to leave my side back then. I thought we were on the upswing, rebound or not. We were going to figure it out this time around. Then he broke up with me the exact same way I did him all those years ago. That's what they do. You didn't know the game? For the same reason. He told me that he couldn't know if I was the one if he didn't have anything to compare me to. I was his first girlfriend. He only had one after me. He felt like he missed out on not dating around in his 20s. He asked me to be in an open relationship. I told him no. I told him if he met somebody he thought he might like, let me go, and he did. As he was doing it, he said, "You said we couldn't date other people," leading me to think he didn't want to leave my side a second time and that he really is just trying to figure out if I'm the one. He was honest and upfront with me the entire time. My question is, am I just blinded by love? It took us being apart for me to realize he was indeed the one. And I'm hopeful and actually believe he'll be back. You're delirious. Slap yourself. Slap yourself because you're lonely or I don't know what you are. But this is not it. You guys are playing these silly games. You're too old for this. You're in the 30 to 36 age group. Are you both pitching around acting stupid like this? This makes no sense at your age. This is some teenage stuff. And this is why you never get back with a man. I done told y'all 50 bazillion times. When you get back, when you leave them, stay gone. because whatever way you left them, they're going to be waiting for an opportunity to dog you out and hurt you like you hurt them. So they come back playing those sad violins, and you goofy girls, you just listen and go waltzing right back into the same trap that you just escaped from. And then here he is just waiting, just like this, just waiting until you get yourself emotionally involved and you start trusting him again, and you think it's all, as you say, on the uptick, on the upswing, and things is looking good. And then he yanks that rug and he goes, wah! And you go flying through the air, and he's sitting there laughing because he's happy now because he got revenge. That's why you don't ever go back to a man. Once you get gone, you stay gone. Okay? You just experienced it. And he was your first, he was his first girlfriend and all of that. And he missed out on dating around and all this stuff. You're not in love. You didn't love this man. That's why you broke up with him. You don't didn't love him then, and you don't love him now. You just want what you can't have or something. I'm not sure what's going on with you because this sounds like a really big hot mess. Yeah, it's a trap. It's always a trap. They be trying, women don't think like men do. Men always want to get you back. They always want to, make their ego feel better, like they are the winner. And you ladies need to stay focused on that. And you put yourself in a position where you become the loser. And you do it willingly. So, I mean, it's fine if it's a draw. You both go to your respective corners, hating each other. That's fine. But you don't ever put yourself back in a situation where you give him an opportunity to dog you out and pay you back for, emotionally devastating him for leaving him. You remember, you left him for a reason. They are trying to act like they're completely innocent and they didn't do nothing to deserve you leaving them. But they did, and that's why you left. And so stay gone. Okay? He ain't going to change. He is what he is. So you guys need to accept that. Yeah, a lot of people want what they can't have. I don't understand that either. If I can't have it, I don't want to be bothered. I don't want it. I either want the whole thing or nothing at all. That's me. I'm not going to do that bit and piece thing. I'm not doing that. I'm not investing any time or energy or money in anything. Somebody say, you are stupid. Well, yeah, I'm afraid because it's like the age. You know what I mean? The age is so, like, their maturity level hasn't kept up with their chronological age. So I'm always sitting here kind of amazed, at the decision making process and how they arrived at the conclusion and the choice that they did based on the facts presented for their age level. This, like, you should have been able to figure this out. You're like on the downstroke to 40, and you still pitching around here like, like a teenager. That bothers me because a lot of these people then become parents and they still have this crazy thinking, and I don't get it. But that's me. Yeah, you don't window shop me either. I used to hate that. People are like, oh, let's go window shopping. I'm not doing that. I want to buy it. If I like it, I want to be able to take it home. I don't want to just look at it in the window of my nose all mashed on the glass. I'm not torturing myself like that. So anyway, this has been a wonderful evening, everyone. Closing out another What the Fuck Tuesday. This is the last What the Fuck Tuesday of Debruary. We will not be having a show next week because I remember I'm gonna be on my post Debruary vacation. I'm gonna be sitting on my butt just staring at the ceiling and twiddling my thumbs and watching Netflix maybe or something. We're gonna take a break next week. I'll be on my vacation. I might pop up on the weekend though. But I need, a couple of days to kind of decompress from all of this. But we're going to be going strong through the end of the month, which is what? What day is the last day of February? Oh, Saturday. So the last show of February is going to be on Saturday. That's where I'm going to be wrapping up everything, tying up all the loose ends, bringing it all home, and then talking to you about what you learned. So you guys think about that because I would like to hear what you liked, what you didn't, what you thought could have been different, and what you learned and how you're going to apply what you learned in your life. This is going to be a very important, this is an interactive show. It'll be taking place on Saturday. I hope that you can participate because I can't do it without your input. All right. But This has been it's been grand. Hope you can come in on tomorrow and see Phil talking about communication. On Thursday, we got the $5 live advice question and answer section. You pay your $5 to get your question answered in real live time right here on the air. And then tomorrow is back on Friday. And Saturday, we wrap Debruary up for 2020. Thanks, you guys, for stopping in and being the loyal fans that you are. Thank you, Lady Boss, for being the boss. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.